Have you ever looked at a globe and thought, wait a minute, there's so much blue? If most of our planet is covered in water, why on earth do we call it Earth? It feels more like planet water, or maybe Oceanus. It's a great question, and the answer is a fascinating journey through history, language, and science. First, let's get the numbers straight. While it looks like a lot, water covers about 71% of our planet's surface, not 95%. Still, that's almost 3/4 of the globe. The remaining 29% is the land we live on, the ground beneath our feet. So the question still stands, why name our planet after the smaller part? The answer isn't a single simple fact, but a blend of different reasons. Let's start with language. The name Earth comes from Old English and Germanic words. The word jörte in Old English meant ground, soil, or dry land. Similar words existed in other old languages, like Erde in German and Aarde in Dutch. Think about it from the perspective of our ancient ancestors. They weren't sailing across vast oceans in high-tech ships or looking down from space. Their entire world, their reality, was the land they stood on. It was where they hunted, farmed, built their homes, and lived their lives. The ground, the soil, the earth, that was their foundation, the most fundamental part of their existence. So it makes perfect sense that they would name the entire world after the part that was most important and immediate to them. The vast, mysterious ocean was the other, the place you couldn't live on. You couldn't grow crops in the sea. The land was home. This perspective is common across many cultures. In many ancient mythologies and creation stories, the world begins with the separation of land from a formless, watery chaos. The creation of solid ground was seen as a monumental event, the very beginning of a habitable world. So, naming the planet after this life-sustaining land is a recurring theme. The word Earth isn't just a label, it carries the weight of what it means to have a place to stand, to live, and to thrive. But let's shift gears from language to science. If we were to name the planet based on its total composition, Earth is actually incredibly accurate. While water covers most of the surface, it's just a very, very thin layer. The average depth of the ocean is about 2.3 miles, or 3.7 kilometers. That sounds deep, but when you compare it to the size of the entire planet, it's like the skin on an apple. The Earth's radius is nearly 4,000 miles, or about 6,400 kilometers. This means that all the water on the surface makes up a tiny fraction of the planet's total mass and volume, less than 0.025% of its mass, to be precise. So, what is the rest of the planet made of? Well, it's made of Earth. The vast majority of our planet, over 99.9% of it, is rock and metal. We live on the crust, which is the outermost solid layer. Beneath that is the mantle, a thick layer of hot, flowing rock. And at the very center is the core, made mostly of iron and nickel. From a geological and chemical standpoint, our planet is overwhelmingly a rocky terrestrial world. So, calling it Earth is scientifically spot on. We're not living on a water world with a bit of rock. We're living on a rock world with a thin film of water on top. It's also interesting to think about when we actually realized how much water was on the surface. For most of human history, people had no idea. They knew about the seas and oceans they could see, but the true scale of the world's water was a mystery. It wasn't until the age of exploration, from the 15th to the 17th centuries, that navigators like Ferdinand Magellan circumnavigated the globe and started to map the vastness of the Pacific and other oceans. Even then, the name Earth was already thousands of years old and deeply ingrained in language and culture. It was too late to hold a planetary renaming committee. The name had stuck. And then came the space age. For the first time in the mid-20th century, we saw our planet from the outside. Astronauts looked back and were struck by its appearance. They didn't call it the brown and green marble, they called it the blue marble. This new perspective highlighted the beauty and prominence of our oceans in a way no one on the ground ever could. It gave us a new appreciation for the water that covers our world and sustains all life. This view from space is probably why so many of us ask this question today. We see the pictures from NASA, we see the overwhelming blue, and the name Earth suddenly seems counterintuitive. So to wrap it all up, we call it Earth because of our human perspective. Our ancestors named it for the ground beneath their feet, the land that gave them life. And scientifically, they were right on the money, even if they didn't know it. Our planet is, by mass and volume, a giant ball of rock and metal. The water, while vital and beautiful, is just a precious, thin veil on the surface. So, the name Earth is a perfect blend of our ancient land-based history and the deep geological truth of our world. It reminds us of both the ground we stand on and the incredible journey of discovery that led us to see our planet for what it truly is, a beautiful blue dot, our one and only home. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey through language and science, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos that make you wonder. See you next time.